McLaren has positioned itself as the team to beat in 2025, according to the preseason testing. However, it does look like there is some internal drama going on that we couldn't have anticipated in years to come. According to F1 insiders, the Woking-based squad might think twice before moving on with Piastri as their long-term driver. If the season rolls out in Norris's favor, then the argument for replacing a competitive driver next to a championship-winning one would be more than solidified for McLaren. But are they really going to replace Oscar after the brilliance he's shown in his first couple of years? And if so, what does the future hold for the second driver's seat at McLaren? One of the most controversial topics in 2025 is definitely the future of Piastri, as a bombshell from the F1 world emerged that McLaren might not be fully happy with his services and his actions on and off the track. Of course, nothing has been said and confirmed, and neither should it be as we head into the most competitive season in quite some time. But there are certain elements that you just can't turn a blind eye to when it comes to Piastri's future at McLaren. For starters, the team has two alpha male drivers, and whether or not it sounds like a far-fetched scenario, because they haven't actually won anything yet, and 2025 could turn out to be a failure of a season as well. It is the reality of their characters. Neither Oscar nor Lando would yield in a fight, and if the MCL39 is as strong as Norris's lap times have shown in Bahrain, then we should expect Piastri to be very close behind him. Yes, there are certain areas that Piastri needs to improve, such as his one-lap performance, which would give him a much better starting position in races. And that is much easier said than done when you have the duo of Ferrari, Verstappen, and Norris competing against you. In the very near future, elaborating further, Dornbos said, "We have heard that the pressure is on." McLaren was not too happy with Oscar. He lost 20-4 to Norris in qualifying. The young super talent needs to show why he has been given the opportunity at McLaren. Mark said not to put on a mask, he should just be himself. He is just a bit more reserved. And of course, McLaren knew exactly what they were doing when they signed a young driver next to Norris, focusing on the team's maximum performance in the Constructors' Championship and winning a title after a long and dry period that haunted the Woking-based squad. However, that doesn't come without its own consequences. For starters, Piastri is not looking to be the second fiddle in any team whatsoever after showing so much potential in just 2 years. And if you were to ask him, there is no doubt that his self-confidence is through the roof. Addressing the talk and fighting in the Drivers' Championship, Piastri said, "It's definitely a clean slate this year. Everyone is starting on zero again, and I think last season, towards the end, it was natural that I still had the opportunities to go out and put my best foot forward. Yes, there were a couple of situations where I ended up helping Lando, but there were some ways he still helped me out. So it wasn't as clear-cut as that, but definitely, we are starting on a clean slate, and I do think I can become world champion this year. I am confident. I think we've still got some things to work on, and we are definitely not the finished product." Australia, March 16th, but the same can be said for McLaren, who now have two sharp-edged drivers who won't give up if the wheel-to-wheel combats come alive like they did last year in Monza. Although Lando was criticized for not defending strongly enough, and the team for not reassessing the order like they did in Hungary when they messed up their own tactics, 2025 is going to be a different season for the Brit as well. Yes, he does view the season as his biggest challenge, and he did say that age is just a number for Lewis. But what he must not forget is that the driver sitting next to him in the garage might be the biggest threat to his first ever championship. When talking about the competitiveness in 2025, Norris has been buoyant about his chances of becoming a world champion and being a far more aggressive driver than he has been until now, which is precisely what he needs if he wants to see himself winning the title. Elaborating further on this, Norris said, "The relationship between me and Max is fine. I think we both look forward to more of last year, more battles. I don't think it's going to be just us. I think there are going to be others involved, which will make it more exciting for everyone. I know they are going to be tough battles, and I'm sure some of them are not always going to end the way I or Max want. But we are racing drivers. I think we get along." The issue here is that the expectations for Ferrari have been set quite high with Hamilton arriving and with the team slowly but surely catching up to Verstappen. However, if we were to draw anything from preseason testing, it's that their car is not where they want it to be. The feelings among the Ferrari drivers are mixed, and I mention this because it's very important for Piastri to use the situation in Maranello as fuel going forward and prove that he can be the next world champion. The experience is on Lando's side, but while we're talking about it, there's no doubt that Piastri will be there to constantly put pressure on his teammate. This begs another question. How will McLaren deal with this situation internally? Obviously, they didn't do a very good job last year, which is why, more often than not, they were the laughingstock of the sport. But winning the championship has definitely put a target on the team's back. The question is whether there will be a certain competitor who could catch up with the rapid pace that the MCL 39 has developed. Not only that, but Norris's feeling with the car was quite confident, to say the least, as the Brit left nothing to the imagination of the fans when elaborating on how the car felt throughout the 3 days in Bahrain. This could pose a further problem for Piastri. When talking about it, Norris said, "The car feels similar to last year's one, which is a good start. That is where we wanted to start. Nothing has been majorly addressed. We've tried to make the car quick all around and add more load, a simple way of looking at it, honestly. We still want to try and focus on some areas more than others. We've struggled a lot with the rear that we would have liked over yesterday and today, but it's still early days."